John Machot, The Athletic. Overall, how did you think that you played today?
Solid enough to get the win. I told you before, I'm my biggest critic. I don't think I played, obviously not my best game. I'm a completions guy. I want to get completions. I want to get it rolling. There was a streak there that was, I don't know, it felt like 7 to 10 or so, that a few incompletions in a row. But then we got it going. We got it back going, got it back on track. Great 2-minute drive, different things, but at the end of the day, defense played their asses off. Kicker was great. Aubrey was great. So obviously did enough to win, but I always want to be better.
Dak, Todd Archer with ESPN. With what your head coach went through this week, what does it say that he was out there? Was any part of tonight about supporting him in any kind of way and getting a win for him?
Yeah, I think when we talked earlier in the week, I said, we had a great practice on Thursday, and part of that was making sure that we prepared the right way, take as much stress as we can off of his plate, and just get prepared. And but today was no different than any game day. Obviously, I understand that he had surgery just the other day. He's a tough guy. I know I called him out earlier in the week and said what an opportunity to show it, but he definitely showed it, it felt normal. Obviously, he called some great plays, had some great timings on some plays. Even the sack fumble was supposed to be touchdown the other way. So, he called a great game.
And did you guys recognize him at all afterwards in the locker room? What?
No, we didn't. No, we didn't. He's quick. He chop, pass it over to J. Lou. We broke it down. So, we got time. We'll get it in. Appreciate that, though. Now we're getting game balls for appendicitis. All right, for the recovery. All right.
Jerry talked about this being one of the most important wins in the franchise, regular season wins in the franchise. Can you talk about the importance of getting this win, beating the Eagles, and improving? I don't know if you need to prove something to anybody else, but a lot of people said you guys playing a team with a winning record like that and showing what you did tonight.
It was big. We needed it. Let's not sugarcoat that. We needed that. Obviously, I've talked about it before. Mike talks about grabbing a huge chunk of confidence and moving forward, and being able to do that against a team like that here at home, place that we've had a lot of success at over the last 2 years, puts us in front of the division, right? Does? Tied? Okay. But with a couple of games left with both teams, understand, as I've talked about, it's about us running our own race and checking it out there at the end. But, this was huge. It was huge, and it was a great atmosphere from the jump. Felt like a playoff game. Credit, as I said earlier, all three phases. Obviously, run game got going. Always it starts with the offensive line. Receiver made some plays, but the defense was lights out. I gave up the only touchdown of the day on their side, so defense was lights out. And as I said, our kicker, Butter, showed up, so as he always does. It was a great team win, much-needed win, but we got to turn the page quick, especially in this league, especially with where we've placed ourselves. I can't sit here and celebrate on this. This was our expectation of the night, and we played to our standards, so now it's about doing that again next week.
When did you get the nickname Butter?
I don't know. I gave it to him not too long. After probably his first 10 kicks, maybe even kicks in training camp. Yeah, just because he's smooth, super smooth, makes them all, makes it look easy as butter. He deserves it.
Say, Dak, so does Mike? Oh, I'm sorry.
Sadi's with The Athletic. Dak, Jerry just said that if you didn't get to win a Super Bowl, it'd be one of his biggest regrets of his career. Just when you look at where you've put yourself in terms of being able to take the team there, how do you see yourself in that conversation and being able to take this team where it wants to go?
Yeah, that's what I play for. This team plays for. Talk about a common goal. Always mention that's what this team has their eyes set on. But obviously we got to take it one game at a time. As I talked about my performance tonight, as I said, it was good enough to win, but I hold myself to super high standards. And if I play my best game, we're putting up 50 out there. And so That's not going to change, and I'm going to keep pushing for that. That's the work that I put into this thing. That's the preparation that I do. They did a great job on defense. Don't get me wrong, it's a good team over there, and they did a great job. They had a good plan of, trying to make us go the long way, make me take it underneath. Had jumpers early in the game, tip ball. A couple of passes were a little off. Just here and there. And so, credit to those guys. But as I said, we did enough. I did enough to win, but because my expectations are on that common goal for this team, I always want to play to my best.
You talk about running your own race. When's the last time you thought about the Super Bowl?
Every day. That's part of running our own race. Every day. I've got different reminders throughout my daily routine, things that I wear perhaps, alarms when I set, different things throughout. But it just allows me, to keep the goal up front in front of my mind. Allows me to be disciplined. You talk about sacrifice. You talk about doing something that you may not want to do at the time, but doing it like you love it. When you have those little reminders, when you have things like that just helps. And so just locked in, focus. Obviously got a great team, great support system around that's doing the exact same thing and playing the part.
Dak, Ed Werder, ESPN. You've mentioned the defense a few times. What's the value when you're struggling as a quarterback or as an offense as you were tonight to know that the defense is good enough to take care of it and get you the win decisively even?
Yeah, it's complementary football. That's what you talk about, and that's what you and it goes both ways. Obviously, when they get turnovers, we're trying to go score, but it goes the exact same way when we're not performing well for those guys to say, hey, we've got to pick it up for the offense. And, this game, I think, is a great parallel to last week. Maybe they didn't have their best game. We're getting off the field on third down, and we were able to score when we needed to, keep ourselves in that game until we ultimately took over, and then they made their stops. And no different tonight. We weren't playing up to our standard, but they were making stop after stop, getting us the ball back, and then ultimately, boom, right, I give them a touchdown. It looks like it's going to be a close game right there, and then, they make some stops, and then, boom, we get it going again, at least get some field goals that changed the game, the 2-minute drive I spoke on. So it's about complementary football. It goes both ways in the sense of picking one up and then capitalizing on the same end when the other guy makes a play. So as long as we can continue to do that, special teams getting involved, tough team to beat.
Dak, Jory Epstein with Yahoo Sports. What happened on the strip sack? What was going through your mind, and how did you all keep the course afterward?
Yeah, like I said, that was a touchdown play. Mike dialed up a great play right there. My eyes are downfield. I see if I can get half a second, a third of a second more maybe perhaps. I'm about to get the ball off and really throw it with anticipation in that sense. And so I had the ball kind of low, getting ready to hum it down the field when Fletcher grabbed me. And at that point, I think I was going for the tuck and just trying to tuck it away, and it came out. That's football. And yeah, I'm on the ground and watch it roll and watch the guy pick it up with a clean scoop, and it's a feeling that sucks. But at the end of the day, we're still up for one. A couple of us on offense hadn't had some plays go our way before that, and me as a leader, I'm in the huddle getting those guys going, and then boom, I'm the one that has a play, and then so they did a great job, coming up to me, and no difference, and that's what it's about, picking me up in the same instance, and knew that we had an opportunity to go right back out there, get past that, put that behind us. Game was still in our control, ball was in our hands, and I'm always going to flush that and move on. So.
Speaking of game ball, for the coach, does Micah get us a game ball for being sick? Seriously speaking, though, did you check on Micah, given his illness, and how impressed were you with what he did and playing through it?
I talk about expectations a lot, and obviously a lot about myself and my expectations. I've got very high standards and expectations for Micah Parsons, and he wants that. He's shown he's deserved that and can live up to him. So obviously, I checked on him, but it wasn't much of a how are you doing, this and that. It was more of go have a flu game type performance then. If you're out here, you can play. I know that's what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. I know you're going to be tired. That's part of it. That's when you get to show how great you are. And so I was just really reminders throughout the game. He walked by me, got a chance to, hey, Micah, I'd say something and shake his head, dap me off, and keep rolling. So kind of the little relationship or transactions that we have during the game right there is just to, keep each other, for me, obviously, to keep him into it and make sure I'm just trying to feed that hungry mindset that he has. The guy's a hell of a player. He's a game changer. And a lot of times you get into games and they have a game plan for you. They're throwing 3 people at you, and it can be frustrating. So a lot of times it's just picking him up from that, just telling him, stay resilient. But tonight it was about being resilient, understanding you're tired, understanding that you don't feel your best, but you're still a hell of a player, and I expect you to go make plays as you do yourself, and he did it once again.
Michael Gelkin, Dallas Morning News. Late in the second quarter, when you hit Brandon Cooks to get to the 1-yard line, Tony Pollard had a big pickup in pass pro. That's far from the first time this season where you guys have had that sort of play from a running back in pass pro. I mean, it takes everybody.
Yeah.
What does that mean to this offense, and how much has that been part of things all along this year?
Yeah, it's been a huge part of it, and it's each and every guy taking pride in their job responsibility. And yeah, I mean, he's got to go make some dirty blocks, and he knows he has to do that at times for me to get the ball off, and that was a great example of it. And it's the same way when you see receivers blocking defensive ends. You see them down the field blocking for those guys on run plays or whatever it may be, as we've talked about before, a guy clearing out a route so another guy can get that play and get into that window. This is a very selfless group, and everybody just wants this unit to succeed, wants this unit to be their absolute best, and we understand that for us to do that, we all have to do our 1/11th. We all have to do our job, play our role in each and every play, and then the rest takes care of itself. We've got so many playmakers, so many great players on this team, and on this team, offense, whatever, that when you do that, you handle your job, you know what I mean, and you don't try to do too much. You just stay within it, that great things are going to happen, and sometimes it leads to you having to do the dirty work. And TP, Rico, they've done a hell of a job of it all season long, to be honest with you.
Last one, Chris.
Chris Arnold, 105.3 The Fan. Dak, you touched on this about a month ago. Could you talk about the emergence of Jake Ferguson? He seems to be into his own right now. Your confidence in him, especially the way he plays, hurdling people?
Yeah, hell of a player. Confidence is through the roof with him. He's a fun guy to play with, I can tell you that. He's a fun guy to play with. Active. Will do whatever it takes. Will make those dirty blocks, as I talked about, being selfless. Wants to make the catch. Wants to jump over guys. It's incredible that just his mindset. He's not going to take anything from anybody. He's going to get as much as he can. He's very, very greedy of a player. And I think that's what you need at that position. And, yeah, he's really, really emerging in a sense as more than just a playmaker, but a leader on this team, and just the way that he's continuing to take care of business, but doing it in a fun and a light way, communicating with guys. Super, super proud of him, his efforts, and I'm telling you, he's only going to get better. So super thankful to have that guy. Thank you all.